Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. One morning I had the idea.
It came from a dream, is that right?
No, it's not a dream. I was, sometimes I have vision, not on the drug. But so I was one morning and in my bed, and I start to see in front of me the two mountains, and a guy on the top of one of the mountain and a girl on the other one, looking each other. And I wasn't at all looking for an idea for a movie, not at all. I was a little bit upset about movie industry. So really I wasn't in that state of mind. And watching this image, I say to myself, fuck, that's a good idea. No? That's a good idea. And so watching the image, I understood the story. And part of the story, you know, a love story, complicated one, but that I want to be positive one. And I understood the incredible visual potential. I'm a photographer. My first occupation has been a photographer, so I'm very visual. And I start to write the same afternoon. So, but I don't know. Really, I don't know. Then I understood. I am from Argentina, living in Paris, upside down. You know, to my people. Yeah, of course. You know, it's everything comes from a part. You know, but it's unconscious. Yeah.
And I'm from down under, so I can relate to being down below.
That qualifies.
Qualifies. But it's a high concept film, but the love story is so familiar and relatable. Is that what you liked about it, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like when I read the script, you know, it felt like a real classic kind of love story, for sure.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, it's Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story, that kind of idea of forbidden love and two people desperate to kind of be together in that kind of fairy tale, fantasy kind of way that will kind of overcome any obstacle to be together. And then the obstacle is gravity, you know, which just seemed a pretty cool idea to me. And I was sure one was on drugs, so... that was... And then I met him, and then it was for sure he was on drugs.
Maybe I could wine the night before, but not the morning, no.
Does anyone out there have a question for Jim or Juan? Yes, down the front.
For Juan, by naming the restaurant Dos Mundos, was that like a personal decision because of your background?
Yeah. And the tango, you know, I'm from Argentina, so the tango, and there's a lot of little things around. One sad one, I can tell you, for example, it's not a private joke at all, but very like private joke, a tragic joke. The car who take Jim, you know, who take Jim, Adam and Becky in front of the house, it's the same car that at the end of the movie take Jim. It's a Ford Falcon. The Ford Falcon was the car used by the military to kill people in Argentina on 76. And the art director gets mad about me. He didn't understand why this fucking director wanted a Ford Falcon that was impossible to find in Canada. Give me a Ford Falcon, you know? And green, because that was the thing. And so we found a red one, we paint it green, and that's it. So now, you know, there's a lot of things. It's normal. You put things of yourself, and but it's always a way to open doors, you know, to understand that, you know, down, up, and whatever. So just to open doors to the audience.
Any questions down the front?
Yeah, I noticed in the credits that you were given credit for writing the screenplay, but then they had another section called adaptations and dialogue with you and two other people. So can you talk about how the script evolved, what all that means, and then when you had your actors on board, did the story change? Did they make suggestions? And then when you got on set and started shooting, did it evolve even further?
Well, one of the names is just because co-production. I never met the guy. Okay? I mean, that's the way, you know, sometimes things work. Yeah. So
a little insight there.
So no, basically I spent 2-3 years writing the script alone, and at the end of the processes, you know, you want someone just to have a feedback, to have someone, you know, like read it and what happened. and I found a very cool Argentinian guy living in Paris. He's a professional scriptwriter, Santiago Amigorena, and so we did together, not the last version of the script, but a version of the script. And then I went to Canada, and the script needed to be in English. At that time, I didn't speak a word in English. I learned English for being here for you guys, for the regime. And then Jim can answer to your question, because I like a lot that the actors being involved in the dialogue and on the situation to make as much as organic as possible. So Jim, maybe you can.
Yeah, I mean, Juan was great at just bringing as much life into the film as possible. You know, it's a special effects kind of movie, and there was a certain amount of green screen, but you know, Juan was really great at he wanted the characters to be alive, and you know, he said, you know, this is the idea, and this is what I want you to kind of get across, but you can dance with your own words, you can say whatever feels right at that moment. And then he was like, what did you say? does it mean this? But yeah, I mean, that was one of the great things about making the film, was that, you know, I kind of went into the film looking for a sort of experience of green screen and special effects. I hadn't really done a film like that before. And I was amazed at how much Juan was so he was so aware that he wanted to just bring so much sort of reality into the fantasy for us as actors, you know. So these incredible sets were built, you know. It didn't ever really feel like you were just in this total artificial kind of world, you know. It felt like he gave us as much as possible to kind of play off and use, and the technology, which Juan can talk about a lot more than I can, that he, with a group of people, I guess, you designed this kind of technology to help with the organicness of the scene.